Hi sugar bunnies, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new, and happy new year. I hope you guys got all the rest that you deserved and are ready to rock this year. So for today's video, I'm gonna be sharing with you 5 spooky stories that you can share with your friends, your family, if you're in the spooky spirit. Fun fact, when I was in middle school, I used to love reading spooky stories. I would spend hours and hours just reading spooky stories. Probably why I'm such a scary cat and why I'm so paranoid. But I found 5 spooky stories that I haven't heard of, and I decided to share them with you. I think you guys will enjoy, and this is going to be a fun little video. But before we get into it, if you do enjoy my cute little cowgirl earrings, make sure to give my Instagram account a follow. Hats for Baddies. There's going to be lots of new exciting merch coming out, and I might be doing a giveaway one of these days. So go give me a follow. I'll be posting lots of cute things there for the new year, lots of exciting projects. So yeah. One more thing, I don't know the name of these stories. Usually they're titled something, but I didn't save the name. Without any further ado, let's get into the spooky story. This one, I was like, oh my god. So also, warning, if you're not into graphic things, if you get spooked easily or listening to gross things, this video might not be for you. So proceed with caution. First spooky story. My friend's boss bought an Audi A4 convertible back when they were new and interesting. One of the talking points was the pop-up roll hoops that were hidden unless you rolled it. A few months after buying it, he got to test those roll hoops out as he lost control and skidded down a steep bank about 35 feet deep. The roll hoops did their job, and he survived with just cuts and scratches from the bushes he'd plowed through. The car ended up the right way up, and he got out, walked back up to the bank to the side of the road, then got to the phone to the police to report the accident. While he was standing there, a driver from a car that had seen the accident came over to speak to him. Approaching from behind, the other driver asked if he was okay. My friend's boss turned around to reply and dropped dead. His neck had been fractured but was in one place right up until he turned his head when it severed his spinal cord. I was like, when I first read this, I was like, oh my god, be the ick. Now, I don't know if these stories are true. I mean, probably not. I don't know. Maybe. But isn't that just awful? You survived a car accident, turn around, and you just collapse. Awful. Next one. This one's kind of like, my daughter woke me around 11:50 last night. My wife and I had picked her up from her friend Sally's birthday party, brought her home, and put her to bed. My wife went into the bedroom to read while I fell asleep watching the Braves game. Daddy, she whispered, tugging my shirt sleeve, guess how old I'm going to be next month? I don't know, Beauty, I said as I slipped on my glasses. How old? She smiled and held up 4 fingers. It is 7:30 now. My wife and I have been up with her for almost 8 hours. She still refuses to tell us where she got them from. So if you didn't get that one, the little girl held up 4 fingers, and they're not her fingers. They're just 4 random fingers. That's why it says that. She still refuses to tell them where she got them from. I was like, ah! Okay, this one, kind of interesting. People started falling from the sky by the close of the decade. They were never clothed, always naked, always a petrifying grin on their face. It had just been a few at first, but then hundreds and thousands would fall all the time, destroying cars and homes and blocking off highways. Strange discoveries were made upon research. They were human, but lacked any blood, intestines, or even a heart. No one could explain the hideous grins they had, or even where they came from. It was a woman in Costa Rica who made the latest and most disturbing discovery. She recognized one of the fallen bodies as a long-dead relative, one who died back when she was a teenager. Then more and more identifications were made. Soon people were picking up their long-dead loved ones amongst the video feeds, cadaver piles, and crematoriums. No one could explain why they were coming back, falling from the sky. Even more distressing, after disposing of the bodies, it wouldn't be long until the same body came plummeting from the sky again. You could not get rid of them no matter what. People were getting killed by the higher volume of falling bodies, and soon after burial, they too began to fall. My mother was killed when a body landed on her car, crushing her. I don't know how that would work unless, like, I guess the force of a body falling from the sky. The next week, the news reported on a body that had gotten lodged in an airplane windshield. I saw my mother's grinding face, the happiest I had ever seen her. They say when hell is full, the dead shall walk on the earth. What about happened? Yeah, spooky! Okay, this one is kind of like, what the hell? I watched as my soon-to-be father-in-law held his daughter's hand as he walked down the aisle. Tears streamed down his face as the wedding march that played in the background reminded him that in a few minutes he would be watching me hold his daughter's hand and slip on her ring. He walked up to the altar and I took hold of her hand, grinding from ear to ear. It was the happiest day of my life. My bride's father got down on his knees and started begging. Please, I did what you asked. Just please give me my daughter back. I glared at him. Shut up and stop ruining the moment. If you sit back down and enjoy the ceremony, and maybe I'll tell you where I've hidden the rest of the body. Next spooky story. In the year 2026, the Messiah came down to earth. She performed miracles and cured the sick. There was no doubt as to her authenticity. She appeared to all nations at once. All believed, all worshipped her. Sometime later, after this period of our history known as the Age of Peace, she dropped a bombshell on us. She warned us that heaven was almost full. Nobody had gone to hell during this age. There were a fixed amount of spots left. Paradise would be closed to all who died after the gates closed. That is when the mass suicides began. Taking your own life, she had told us, was not a sin if you died a pious man. Sorry, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. The race was on. She looked on and was pleased. She returned to her home, to her throne of fire and flames, and greeted all with a nod of her wicked horns. Woo! 2026 is not too far from here. Next story. This one is... Let me just read it to you. Drip, drip, drip. The ice was melting. My prison was thawing. Soon I would be free. How has the world changed, I wonder? Would it be easy to find food, warmth, and shelter? Would I be stranded here on the ice or in the water? Drip, drip, drip. I had been frozen for so long, so very long. My siblings beside me yearned for freedom, just as I did. When the ice gave way, we would burst forth and see what the world offered us. I hoped it was thriving out there. Drip, drip, drip. We needed it to be thriving. Whatever was out there wasn't ready for us. I was sure. Our hosts, whatever form they took, were unsuspecting. We could and have survived for hundreds of thousands of years in this cold, unforgiving desert. The permafrost we have been hibernating in is giving way to the warming earth below. It was almost time to leave, to spread, and to infect. Drip, drip, drip. This is really scary to me because global warming is true. I believe in global warming. I don't know if you do. Those are all the spooky stories I have for you. They weren't that spooky. I just kind of like testing the waters. But let me know what you guys thought. Let me know which one was your favorite spooky story. And let me know if you guys want me to make more of these spooky videos. Because like I said, I do enjoy reading spooky stories. I used to read them for hours. It was kind of hard finding a story that I haven't heard of. Because like I said, I've heard them all. So if you have any spooky stories, send them to me. Leave them in the comments below or DM me on Instagram. I'll leave the Instagram down below. Make sure to like, follow, subscribe, and I will see you all on my next video. Thank you for watching, guys.